East Tennessee is located snugly in Appalachia within the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Many of the early settlers in the 1800s were Scotch-Irish, which this tale can be traced back to through the annals of time. However, as I am including it as I heard it as a child growing up in a small town in the area, there may be some variation that occurred as it passed orally down the generations. Once upon a time, there lived an old man known as Stingy Jack. One day, while at a pub, the very devil himself came to claim Jack's soul. Now, Jack was not only a greedy man, as his moniker suggests, but he loved playing tricks. Jack convinced the devil to turn into a sixpence so that he could pay for his drink before they left for hell. The devil thought this was delightful and abided. But before the devil knew it, Jack snatched up the coin and put it beside a silver cross in his pocket. This kept the devil from turning back into his true form. And before he would remove him, Jack made the devil promise not to come lay claim upon his soul for another year, and having no other choice, the devil agreed. A year later, Jack was meandering through an apple orchard and happened to spot the devil across the way. "It is time, Jack, to claim that which is mine." Thinking fast, Jack, who was halfway up a tree, stealing some poor soul's harvest, began to whoop and holler. "Wowee! Imagine that! Why, I never seen such a thing." "What do you see?" the devil inquired. Well, Jack kept making a fuss and ignored the devil. So the devil, as curious as ever, began to climb up. "This tree ain't big enough for the both of us. Let me climb down so you can see," exclaimed Jack as he scampered down the tree. The devil, now free to climb higher, did. "I don't see anything." "Go up a bit further. You won't believe it." The devil climbed higher and higher, cussing the whole way. Jack, quick as a flash, whipped out his pocket knife and carved a cross into the bark of the tree trunk of that tree. Just at that time, the devil, flustered from not seeing anything, began to climb down, his cloven hoofs slipping on slick bark now and again. However, as he tried to step to the ground, he realized he was stuck. He saw the cross and knew that he had been tricked again by the dastardly Jack. This time, Jack made him promise not to claim his soul for another 10 years and to leave him be. His patience wearing thin and not wanting to be stuck in the tree, the devil agreed, and Jack turned the cross into a stick figure. But before these 10 years were up, old Jack died. Unfortunately for him, all of his trickery and cruel deeds followed him to the pearly gates, and he was turned away by St. Peter. If heaven was not an option, then there was only one more. So Jack, dejected, turned from the gates and headed toward the entrance to hell. The devil was still bitter at Jack and his dirty tricks, and would not let him into hell either. He reminded poor Jack that he had promised not to claim his soul. Jack's gullet rose, and he was now truly scared. "But where will I go?" "Back to where you came from." The journey back is very long and dark, so the devil took pity on him and lent Jack a coal from the fires of hell to make sure he got back to his realm. But the coal burned his hands. Jack happened to have a turnip in his pocket, as they were his favorite. He hollowed it out with his knife and placed the devil's coal in it to light the way back home. And ever since, poor Jack has roamed the earth with his carved out turnip, shining the way ahead to his eternal punishment. On Halloween, when the veil between worlds is thin, sometimes one can catch the tiniest glimmer of Jack in his lantern. If you delight in horror, the spooky, or true crime, like and subscribe for more videos to tickle your fancy.